Make no mistake about it, English Test cricket is in a right mess at the moment. We lie 7th in the World Test Championship rankings, 5th in the ICC Test rankings. We've lost 2 out of our last 3 series, 7 out of our last 9 games. The only 2 games we won have been on shit pitches, which could have gone either way. It was a bit of a bowl out. We've been nowhere near being in contention for the World Test Championship. We're not going to be in contention for the ongoing one. And that's before we even get started sort of talking about the embarrassing play, particularly the batting, that keeps coming time and time and time again from this side. And look, I'm aware that there are more problems other than Brendon McCullum, Rob Key, Richard Gould. I'll be coming on to those in future videos. We've got the ridiculous scheduling of the county championship, and we've got the embarrassment of this Mickey Mouse 100 tournament yet again that is going to take up the prime bit of the summer. But until we get rid of Brendon McCullum, there is no way, in my opinion, that we can begin to improve again as a test match side. Under his stewardship, we were humiliated in the Ashes over the winter. And for him to be given another chance on what is, I presume, is a very, very well-paid job, and it should be, it's an important job, for him to then go into the next series, and when there's a live game, with the game and the series on the line, for him to turn it in to a testimonial game with a pick-your-own order, guys coming in and playing ramp shots, trying to hit their first ball for 6 or ramp their first ball. It's an absolute disgrace, and Brendon McCullum is to blame for this. Brendon McCullum has curated an environment where the great Joe Root, who could well be the top run scorer in the history of Test match cricket, who's going to be our greatest ever batsman, has reversed ramped the first ball of his innings when the Test match and the series are still on the line and the paying public are in the house at Trent Bridge. This Bazball bullshit, or whatever you want to call it, has long since failed. At the start, Bazball was this term that alluded to positive cricket would change the game, but in the last 3 years, you can look from the 2023 Ashes onwards. For me, it just stands for embarrassment, humiliation, repeated mistakes, poor cricket, ill-disciplined cricket. Cricket without a plan B, cricket with no accountability, and cricket that shows just a complete lack of respect for the opposition, for the history of the game, the history of Test match cricket. And this cannot go on, and the sooner Brendon McCullum is removed, and not for me, not just from our Test match team, get him out of our white ball team. He has heaped embarrassment on English cricket, especially in the last 6 or 7 months. But look, the cracks were already showing when we gave away the series to India last summer. That stupid declaration in the first test of the 2023 Ashes, and then a ridiculous afternoon when they were all on the hook at Lords in the second test. It's time and time and time again. It's not isolated incidents. It's games, it's dozens of games, it's series after series after series. It is a complete failure, and I have never seen in any other sports. Please let me know in the comments if you can think of anything. Have you ever known a team, a manager, a coach, or whatever it is, go so far down a rabbit hole that does not work for such an elongated period of time, and then double down on it, treble down on it, and go again and again and again? It's absolutely embarrassing. Brendon McCullum needs to be removed from his position immediately. The only thing Brendon McCullum is telling these players what to do is to go out, enjoy it. We're removing the pressure for you. No consequences. Go out and play your shots, whatever it is. Go out and bowl fast and just enjoy it. And to put that in context, you could take your 9-year-old son to junior morning on Saturday morning, your local club, and he will be told the same thing. And that is a fantastic thing to tell children. Go out, enjoy it. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't matter if you don't perform. Go out, play your shots, enjoy your cricket. But the England Test match team is the pinnacle. It's the top of the pyramid. These guys have paid massive amounts of money to perform at the highest level for England and to deliver in Test match cricket. And it's no good saying there's no pressure, it's a consequence-free environment. All it does is create an environment that has zero accountability, zero discipline. These guys are getting paid the same sort of money as CEOs of pretty big companies who make important decisions that affect people's jobs, people's lives, people's pensions, etc., etc. They're not living in a consequence-free environment. Every decision they make matters. They are under pressure. They have to accept that pressure. That is why they get paid the big bucks, and it should be the same with our cricketers. That is why they get paid the big money, to accept the pressure that comes to perform and produce at the highest level. And our Test match team has devolved into nothing more than a hit and giggle under Brendon McCullum, and he needs to go. He needs to go immediately. He's better suited to teaching kids in the local club on a Saturday morning than he is to running our Test match team. We were metaphorically the laughing stock over the winter, but in this series against New Zealand, he succeeded. in turning us into a literal laughingstock. Our opposition in the middle of the game were laughing at us for how we'd gifted the game after they had grafted and fought and put their bodies on the line in Mitchell's case to get their team in a position. They could not believe that we were handing them victory on a plate. They thought they were going to have to fight just as hard. But of course they weren't, because this England team doesn't give a shit. And that message comes from the top. It comes from Brendon McCullum. And as bad as the Ashes were, to have the opposition laughing at how ill-disciplined, how brainless, how careless, and just how stupid your cricket is, it's like I said, it's an indictment on McCullum. The message trickles down from the top, and this guy has to go. Think of some of the coaches we've had in recent times. Guys like Duncan Fletcher, guys like Andy Flower, guys who gave everything, who had attention to detail, who planned, who coached the players, who made the players better, who took the Test match cricket seriously, and it is all being destroyed by this charlatan, this fraud, this snake oil salesman, Brendon McCullum, who thinks he knows better than 150 years of Test match cricket, who thinks that any situation, no matter what the situation he's presented with in Test match cricket, can simply be solved by, oh, fuck it, let's go out and just play uber aggressively. Let's go out and be positive. Let's go out and enjoy it, boys. And as I said, the fact that this has been allowed to fester for 3 years now and he is still in his role is an embarrassment for English cricket. It is an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed by our Test match team. I'm sure all the supporters who forked out tens and tens of thousands of pounds to go to Australia and support the team were embarrassed by the team over the winter. And how this guy, McCullum, is still in his job, look, I guess we'll come on to Key and Gould in future videos. And if you want something to really sharpen the mind, look at what's coming up in March next year, the 150th anniversary Test for the Ashes. What should be a fantastic occasion, a celebration to look back, to reflect on everything that the Ashes has meant to cricket, the biggest contest in the cricket calendar. And you go back for the annals of history, look from W.G. Grace to Bradman to Sutcliffe and Hobbs, to Harold Larwood, onto Alan Border, Ian Botham, Shane Warne, Andrew Flintoff, Lillian Thompson, Steve Waugh, Stuart Broad, Jimmy Anderson. It should be a fantastic occasion to look back at the lineage and the importance of the Ashes and to have a hard-fought Test match between England and Australia. And let me tell you this, we are in severe danger of being led into that series by Brendon McCullum, who is better suited to coaching your kids at the local leisure centre. If that isn't motivation enough to change, coach, I don't know what is. Like I said, I know there are more problems with English cricket, but goodness me, this guy has been exposed. He has been ruthlessly exposed. He has no plan B. He has no answer. He has no clue how to adapt or what to do next. The evidence of this has been laid bare for at least the last 3 years. And I can tell you our Test cricket is going nowhere. We're going to continue to regress if Brendon McCullum stays in charge. I'm going to leave you with a couple of quotes from his. And finally, the point is how sort of arrogant / deluded this guy is. This is what he had to say at the end of the Trent Bridge match. He said that the appalling way that we played on the 4th evening, when we'd seen what Mitchell and Ravindra had done, when we knew there was a game and a series on the line, he came out in the press very clearly and stated it was a preordained plan. He got the leadership group together. They knew what they wanted to do. That was the best way, supposedly, to go about winning or saving that Test match. To absolutely gift the opposition 4 wickets that evening. To come out, and I swear the players must have had bets on either ramp your first ball or hit your first ball for 6. It was an atrocious, embarrassing period of play for English cricket, and this is what this buffoon, Brendon McCullum, had cooked up in the changing room beforehand. He claimed that the Lord's Test against New Zealand was a great example of how to implement a bit of when pressure in different situations and implement some new plans. Bullshit. Ollie Robinson got a shit ton of wickets. He got the ball talking. Ravindra dropped 2 catches. It was a bowling shootout. Matt Henry had a back spasm as well, and we happened to come out on the right side of that game. And for him to think that's some sort of proxy for improving is absolutely nuts. He then goes on to say, I know the direction in which I can take this team and we have an identity about us. I mean, fuck me. What is the identity, Brendon? Is it the fact that we are a laughingstock? Quite literally, we are a laughingstock. What is the direction? Is it right to the bottom of the rankings and the ICC Test rankings and the World Test Championship rankings? Because that's the only thing I'm seeing. This guy is on a different planet to you and I. I don't know how he has the cheek to come out and defend. It's not just defend. He thinks he knows better. He thinks he knows better than you and I. He thinks he knows better than the watching public. He thinks he knows better than hundreds of years of test match cricket and how the game has to be played, and the fact that the game ebbs and flows, the fact that you have to have patience, discipline, bravery, all the things we don't have. He thinks he knows better, yet he doesn't. And the faster this guy is removed from English Test cricket, the better. Because I'm telling you, Brendon McCullum, in my eyes, is almost like a glorified PE teacher now. He's not fit to lead highly paid sportsmen who are meant to be at the top of their game and producing for English cricket. This needs to change. So look, as you can tell, I'm not sitting on the fence. There has to be change. I mean, maybe, I don't know if there's people out there who still think it's worth going on with this guy. I am fascinated to hear what you think. Please let me know in the comments. As I said, Rob Key's coming up next, then Richard Gould. You know, I don't want it to be just about McCullum, because those two guys need to go as well if we're to heal and improve at our test match cricket. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I will speak to you very soon.